Hello and welcome to the Codex Prime podcast. We're in the building.
You could have said it more lively than that.
I don't care. It is it is Thursday, June 28th, 2018. I am your host, Victor Omoayo, and with me as always is my co-host and social media chair, Carl Byrd.
What is going on, y'all?
Yeah, man. We are back Thursday evening, for the next 5 weeks. Today was really gross out.
Oh my God, awful.
Yeah, gray skies, rainy weather, just hard rain intermittently throughout the day. It's pretty depressing.
Yeah, it is. You lost power.
Yeah, I lost power when I was away at work, so I got to reset the clocks in my kitchen and my alarm clock. But, no big deal. We're here. We got some stuff to talk about. So much stuff.
It's another winged episode. Don't lie to the people.
Yeah, we're just winging it today. We're just winging it. For all the good people out there watching at home. Actually, I'm looking at the count right now. Ain't nobody watching right now. But anyway,
Damn, dude, it's like you can just lie. Shit.
I mean, numbers don't lie. We're looking at the view count. But anyway, yeah, let's not harp on that.
Yeah, don't worry. I'm sharing it, so we're gonna get some views.
Oh yeah, yes, we will get some views as per usual. We are always appreciative of everyone tuning in to the show, whether you tune in on Facebook Live, listen on SoundCloud, or watch after the fact. We are grateful for your support.
See, like your arch nemesis is on.
Hey, what's up, Adrian? We got him and Paul Arzola.
Paul, what's going on, Paul?
Yeah, we got them on the show in the chat.
Exactly.
So yeah, we got some things to talk about, some things to wing it. So Carl, as you're sharing the group chat, should I get into it?
Yeah, you go ahead and get into it.
All right. All right. Well, I've been up to a few things here and there this past week. Last week, big shouts to Brian, Eddie, and Kyle for our wrestling-themed NXT Takeover and Money in the Bank show.
So hilarious.
It was quite hilarious. Yeah, and speaking of wrestling, the excitement continues with WWE's United Kingdom Championship Tournament, which aired this past Monday and Tuesday. It actually took place last week at the Royal Albert Hall in London, England. 2 nights of top-notch UK wrestling action. You said that you saw the first night.
First
right?
night, yes.
Okay, so I won't spoil the second night for you, but I'll tell you what matches are on what you can expect.
Okay.
The first night of the tournament was to wrap up the finalists for the UK Championship Tournament. You saw competitors like Jack Gallagher, Flash Morgan Webster, Travis Banks, Joe Coffey, Dave Mastiff, Jordan Devlin, a.k.a. store brand Finn Balor, and Ashton Smith. The ultimate winner of this tournament turned out to be Zach Gibson, who was the Liverpool's #1 and the most hated man in the entire tournament. Every time he came out, the UK crowd just booed him out of Royal Albert Hall.
Was he worse than Tommaso Ciampa?
Not worse than Tommaso Ciampa,
Worse
but
than Roman?
Oh, I would say as bad as Roman, but like the difference is like Zach Gibson apparently he gets legitimate heel heat while Roman Reigns gets a mixture of heel and go away heat. So, but the difference is people want to see Zach Gibson, right, Adrian? So So it was so funny because when Zach Gibson came out, the crowd was just booing him so much that the British crowd, and I give them props because they're so creative with their chants, that they were chanting, "If you hate Gibson, stand up." Everybody stood up, and then everybody chanted, "If you hate Gibson, sit down." And then there was one point where everybody chanted, "If you hate Gibson, shoes off." And you saw everybody take off their shoes and wave them in front of the camera because this dude was just...
How did I miss it? What was I doing?
Oh,
in order
man.
to miss it? I think I was like downloading music.
Yeah.
I got like a lot of gigs this weekend coming up.
But yeah, he had some terrific matches. He actually won by submission in his 3 consecutive matches on the card. He defeated Jack Gallagher, Flash Morgan Webster, and Travis Banks with the Shankly Gates, his armbar submission. to become the second UK tournament winner. And his grand prize was to go on to face Pete Dunne in night 2 of the UK show. Well, and also what was interesting was that I kept wondering, yo, why is Zach Gibson so hated? So I went on YouTube and I watched some videos. I just typed in Zach Gibson heel, and there was one video in particular where he was booed so much by the crowd that the crowd just kept interrupting his promo to the point where they just kept pelting the ring with toilet paper rolls, just like one after the other. And then like,
Why isn't that posted on the Wrestling Fantasy Warfare page?
you know what? I'll probably share the link to that after the show. But it was so hilarious because like he kept saying, "I'm Liverpool's number one." Boo! Toilet paper, toilet paper, toilet paper. And then like then it got to one point where he just stopped, and then the crowd got a little silent, and then it looked like he was about to get through his promo. It's like, okay, I'm Liverpool's number one. Boo!
Really?
More toilet paper rolls. It was hilarious. It was the damnedest thing I've seen for a heel. It's like he's like the Tommaso Ciampa of the UK, or I guess. But he's a terrific athlete, though.
I mean, it's not like they're saying "fuck you, Gibson."
No,
That's our no class American asses.
Yeah, they call him a
wanker.
No, not a wanker, but they call him a sconce bastard.
Sconce. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, British people. British people have a different level, like a different way of swearing than we do.
Yeah. Well, sconce being a reference to his Liverpool background.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, he had some good matches as well as, and there were some good showcases from Flash Morgan Webster, who I like his whole '60s mod gimmick.
Yeah, I saw. Okay, I saw
Yeah.
him.
I like his mixture of high flying and brawling. He's definitely one to look out for. And Travis Banks.
Yeah, he was good. I enjoyed that final match.
Yeah.
Even when he got his ass whooped like right before it.
Oh yeah, when he beat Joe Coffey and Coffey just like threw him in the ring post, and that kind of like it was like an echo back to what happened to Tyler Bate, in last year's UK tournament, like the same like selling the shoulder injury and whatnot. Only difference is that the heel won this time, but yeah, it was definitely cool. And if you're a fan of the UK scene, definitely check out the first night of the tournament. Also, one match that I really liked was the triple threat women's match: Toni Storm versus Killer Kelly from Portugal and Isla Dawn. And
Toni Storm.
Yo, Toni Storm is a prime talent. She's a star. Like,
yes, she is.
Yeah, like she kind of reminds me of Becky Lynch a little bit.
I get a little bit of that.
Yeah, you got that scrappy fighting vibe, and like she was really good. That was a pretty good match with her and Killer Kelly and Isla Dawn. All three women had a really good showing, and Toni Storm, like, you know, the Royal Albert Hall was definitely behind her, and I definitely can see her getting a push on NXT's UK brand moving forward.
That's gonna be interesting.
Yeah. And also my favorite match of the night, which is also one of my favorite matches of the year so far, it's on the list, was the 6-man tag team match. You had British Strong Style
against the Undisputed Era.
Yep. So you had Pete Dunne, Trent Seven, and Tyler Bate versus Adam Cole, Bebe, Kyle O'Reilly, and Roderick Strong.
Yes, and thanks a lot, WWE, because just when I finally get the theme song out of my head, comes right back on.
Shock the system.
Dun, 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 dun. Yo, freaking
Kyle
O'Reilly playing the belt. That's what got it stuck in my head. Just seeing him do that.
Yeah, it goes so well with the song.
It does.
But yeah, that was a banging match. Like the back and forth, and there was one point where Tyler Bate, yo, this dude, he's got some type of freakish strength, because like he had Adam Cole on his shoulders with the airplane spin, but then he had Kyle O'Reilly. Like,
yeah, he had doing the Cesaro spin.
The Cesaro spin while doing the airplane spin at the same time with Adam Cole. That was awesome.
My thing with the Brits is that they're wrestling without knee pads.
Yeah,
like that hurts.
I know.
From somebody who's been in the ring, that hurts.
Yeah, man, that ring is not soft as you think. So wear knee pads, people, if you're gonna compete in the ring. But yo, that was a banging match. Of course, British Strong Style, they prevailed with the win, and that was one of my favorite matches of the year so far, because that's how you do a 6-man tag. Yeah. And the second night of the tournament, which I won't spoil for you, tons of terrific matches. The second night was actually the launch of the NXT UK show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so so you can expect the following matches. For the NXT Tag Team Championship, Undisputed Era defended against Mustache Mountain, Trent Seven, and Tyler Bate.
That was spoiled for me.
Yeah,
Yeah, they won that one.
yeah, they won, and
The
that
British Strong Style.
yeah,
No, I mean Mustache Mountain. Excuse me.
yeah, but that was a good match though. And you had another match, another women's match, Killer Kelly versus Charlie Morgan, who was like a kind of like a high flyer. You have a fatal four-way match between Travis Banks, Flash Morgan Webster, Mark Andrews,
I
and
like Mark Andrews.
oh yeah, and a returning Noam Dar.
Really?
Yeah, he was on the shelf for like 6 months.
Yeah, I knew he was injured.
Yeah, and he came back. Adam Cole versus Wolfgang for the NXT North American Championship. The tag team match between Aleister Black and Ricochet versus Velveteen Dream and EC3. That was interesting.
Okay.
The NXT Women's Championship match, Shayna Baszler versus Toni Storm. So Toni Storm got the title shot. And the main event for the UK Championship, Pete Dunne versus Zach Gibson.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. I'm definitely gonna try to tune that in. Probably tonight.
Yeah, you should. It's like 2.5 hours.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah. That was a pretty cool show. I'm looking forward to seeing what the NXT UK brand will bring moving forward because they're gonna have their own titles too, their own women's and tag team titles.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I did for wrestling. I still haven't got to the New Japan Dominion show, for the rest of the show anyway. But I'll get to that eventually. I saw a couple of movies as well, courtesy of Movie Pass.
Okay, there we go. There's the plug. Dude, I'm gonna have to just go on Twitter and just reach out to Movie Pass and just be like, listen, you're doing some like free promotion here. We need something. We need a sponsorship or something.
I know. Listen, I'm not a paid I'm not paid to promote Movie Pass. I'm just a fan. But I saw 2 movies. One that I absolutely recommend that's in theaters, which I absolutely like. It's my favorite documentary of the year so far. It's called Won't You Be My Neighbor? And it's a documentary on Mr. Rogers.
I had a feeling of I don't know anybody else would say "Won't you be my neighbor?" So I mean,
Yeah, it's an awesome documentary. It's a profile on Fred Rogers, like his life and legacy, and like the influence of his show,
Yeah.
like the evolution and the history of it. And man, it was such a great documentary because it showed like Fred Rogers, the man that you saw on TV, was how he was in real life.
really,
Yeah,
he wasn't like a little perv like how he was, how Jim Carrey portrayed him to be on A Living Color.
Oh no, not at all. No, and it's funny because they actually showed that in the documentary.
Did they? That's
Yeah.
what's up.
They showed that and like all the other parodies. Like they showed like Eddie Murphy's parody, like Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood from
Yeah,
SNL.
that is fire. That's fire.
Yeah, it's funny because there were no scandals from Fred Rogers, thankfully. Like he actually lived a good life. He really cared about helping children. Because he was inspired to do his show because he felt that like children's television was just pandering to kids, but in a mindless way. It was just like all like silly noises and visual effects and funny costumes and bright colors.
Yeah.
And there was no real educational value. So like his show, when it first came out in the late 60s, it was pretty radical for its time because like it was the total opposite of what people would consider good television. It was like had a limited production value, no flashy costumes, no flashy theme music. It was just him, just some guy in a sweater talking to kids, teaching them life lessons, and with puppets. And it was really interesting to see how he was so passionate about his mission of educating and helping young kids, and getting kids to accept themselves for who they are and be proud of that. Yeah. In such a cynical world, and the film does address rumors that were proven untrue. Like for example, no, Mr. Rogers did not serve in the Vietnam War. He didn't have tattoos all over his arms, and that's not why he wore sweaters. He wasn't a decorated sniper for the U.S. Marines. Like those rumors were debunked.
Those would actually be cool rumors, though. What the?
Yeah, but I mean, it just shows like how I guess like people's need for to like put apply a dark side or dark characteristics to anything that seems nice or what the world might deem too nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there was one part in a documentary where he had one of his regular recurring guests who was this gentleman. I think his name was like Francois something. I forget his name off the top of my head, but he was a he was a black guy who played like the like I
Isn't
said
like
the
a mailman or something?
like a mailman.
Yeah.
And there was a episode like in the early like late '60s or early '70s where they addressed incidents where where black swimmers in swimming pools, they were like driven out from like the white owners of those swimming pools by like pouring bleach in them because they wanted to, you know, kick out black people out of whites only pools. So Mr. Rogers and his co-star addressed that by, you know, they had their little backyard set. Mr. Rogers was soaking his feet in this like little kiddie pool, and then he invited his friend Francois over, and they just like soaked their feet in the pool. That small gesture was just radical for its time because people were legit offended by that.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jen actually says he goes, the Mr. Rogers docu is catching fire. It cracked top 10 in the box office last week.
Yeah, it's a popular documentary,
I haven't heard nothing about it. So.
no, it's out in theaters now. Like you can catch it at Showcase in Warwick and Providence Place Mall and Avon. It's directed by Morgan Neville, and Morgan Neville he did the Oscar-winning documentary 20 Feet from Stardom, which is an awesome documentary on backup singers, and Won't You Be My Neighbor? It's a really it's a really necessary documentary because of how shitty and cynical and dark the world has become and continues to be.
Yeah.
You know, with certain assholes in
Okay.
office.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, like this is the type of documentary we need because like we really need people like a Mr. Rogers, people who are genuinely nice and actually have the strength to live that life and help others, you know, without no agenda, no BS, you know, none of this like partisan finger pointing or nonsense. Just somebody who genuinely cares. We need more people like that in the public sphere. None of these like people just like being all toxic on the air on the internet. Ugh, just yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Can't stand those people.
I can't either, man.
Freaking assholes. Just
Yeah.
want to talk nerd shit all day.
Yeah. So please check out Won't You Be My Neighbor? Like if you have fond memories of watching the Mr. Rogers show, then you'll definitely get something out of it. Even if you never watched the Mr. Rogers show, just watch the documentary. You'll definitely go enjoy it, I think.
Ooh, excuse me. Long day.
Yeah.
Long day.
What was it? It ain't that long.
It was. And plus it's the rain too.
Yeah, I know it's gross out.
Weather just freaking brings me down, bro. What else did you watch?
I watched Ocean's 8. Yes.
This is gonna be interesting. Go ahead.
Yeah, I watched Ocean's 8, which is the all women's reboot of the Ocean's 11 series, which starred George Clooney, Brad Pitt, Matt Damon, the late Bernie Mac, R.I.P., and others.
Please don't be Ghostbusters. Please don't be Ghostbusters.
It's not Ghostbusters.
Okay.
It's not as bad as Ghostbusters, but that being said,
It is bad.
I won't say it's bad. It's not a terrible film. It's not on the level of a Ghostbusters 2016, but it's just not very engaging. It was kind of boring. Like
Really?
like I expected more from this movie. Like Sandra Bullock, she plays the sister of Danny Ocean,
Okay.
George Clooney's character, and she's fresh out of prison, and she links up with 7 other women to rob the Met Gala, and she's trying to steal this like $150 million diamond necklace from Anne Hathaway, and the film it does have some creative touches as far as like how the heist is executed, but the characters themselves, they're just so light, and there's really nothing. There's not enough to the characters that makes you want to care about them or really be engaged in why they're executing this heist. Like for example, like Kate Blanchett's character and Sandra Bullock. The film kind of implies that there might be a little romantic history between the two, but that really goes nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
You have a Mindy Kaling's character who's like the jewelry expert of the team, but there's really nothing to her except that
Please don't tell me she's like that, like oh my god type.
Oh no, she's
Okay.
not. But
She's not. She wasn't Kelly
no,
from The Office.
no, she's not. She's not that character. But like apparently, like there was like a little bit of her background. Like her mom is like chastising her because she's not married because of her attitude, and that really goes nowhere. It's like okay. Rihanna plays this weed smoking hacker named Nineball.
How is her acting? I don't think I've really saw anything. Like I saw that she was gonna be in that movie Battleship based on the game, and I was like, well, I think Rihanna was just a tool just to sell the movie, but
Yeah,
she's probably a bad actor. And I know she did voice work for an animated movie like a few years ago.
um, I I forget which one it is.
Yeah. But
But
that's how relevant it
yeah.
is. Like, how is her acting?
Honestly, like nothing special. Anybody could have played her character, and I
Yeah.
mean anybody. Like she has like the only thing to her character is that she has like this big dookie dreadlock wig, and she speaks in a Caribbean accent, and that's
No,
it.
Rihanna actually does have a Caribbean accent.
Which she does, like, because I was thinking, like, is that her real accent, or is she just exaggerating her real accent?
I think it's kind of going away since she's been in the States, because she's been in the States for quite some time, but
Yeah.
it's still there.
Yeah, but like her character, there wasn't much to her either. It was just like, okay, I'm a hacker and I smoke weed, cool. And Helena Bonham Carter is also in it. Fantastic actress, and she's kind of like the oddball of the group, but not much to her either. So yeah, like the film, like the film should have been more fun than what it was. Like when I watched it, it was like you just watch it for the light, just for the satisfaction of seeing these fine actresses, talented actresses on screen, but the film doesn't do much with them. And the director of the film, Gary Ross, it's like he's made good films, but Gary Ross he's not one you go to for style. And Ocean's 11 the Ocean's films are films where you expect some style and some real panache to them.
Right.
And Gary Ross, he's like straight meat and potatoes. He's like unseasoned chicken. He's like if you want straightforward filmmaking, no flash, no style, just straightforward storytelling, straightforward camera angles. You want potato salad with raisins. Gary Ross is your guy. And
But that means I'm like, oh, hell no.
that's his film. That's his like from Seabiscuit.
He made Seabiscuit?
Yeah, Seabiscuit, Hunger Games, the first one. Like it's just straightforward filmmaking.
Well, Hunger
nothing
Games
much
is pretty
more.
much of a like cult classic, though.
Well, I suppose.
It has a cult following, at least.
Well, more than a cult following. It actually has because it's very popular.
Yeah.
Yeah, but overall, like Ocean's 8, I wanted more from it. There's not much to it. It's not really that fun to watch. I still say that Ocean's 11, the George Clooney one from 2001, that's the only one worth watching in the whole series.
What about the originals with the Rat Pack?
I still haven't seen the Rat Pack version, so I can't really speak to that, but I still want to see that version.
Okay, so the modern day franchise.
Yeah, so the modern Ocean's franchise, Ocean's 11 is the best, with George Clooney. Ocean's 12 is trash. Ocean's 13, I didn't see, but from what I hear, it's more or less a remix of Ocean's 11. Same plot, they rob another casino.
Okay.
And Ocean's 8, meh. So that's pretty much my reviews. Ocean's 8 is just meh.
So what are you gonna do for like? So odds are they're gonna try to force an Ocean's 9.
Probably.
Then they're gonna like speed it up and try to get Ocean's 13, no 14.
Or maybe like Ocean's 10 to kind of like, if they did a trilogy,
That's what I found.
yeah, 8, 9, 10, loop back to 11, 12, 13. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
that would just be milking it.
Yeah, but if they do another film, then hopefully they'll get it right next time. Like I said, it's not Ghostbusters awful, but it's just meh, which is too bad.
Okay.
And speaking of documentaries, real quick, Paul asks us if we have heard of the wrestling documentary 350 Days.
No, I never heard of it.
I haven't heard of it either. I'm gonna look into that on the phone here while you talk to the people what you've been up to, man.
My goodness, actually a lot for the past 2 weeks. Damn, like literally a lot. I wish we could have got into it last week, but we had a guest and it was our wrestling episode, and you know when we have our guests for our wrestling episodes, we just kind of forget everything else and we just go at it.
Yeah.
But I love every single minute of it.
Oh, absolutely.
They're like
man.
usually the most fun episodes to watch. And yeah, I saw your post, Adrian. SummerSlam weekend, clear schedule.
Yeah.
Because you and Vic need to go at it again.
Nah.
It was fun.
Nah.
It was fun.
I mean, you can't. He's not going to change his mind, and I'm not going to change my mind, no matter how many facts that I introduce. So, what's the point? It's another stalemate. Stalemate for what? It feels like. It feels like cable news, pundits at this point, where you're not watching an informed discussion. You're just watching a bunch of talking heads jibber jabber at each other, talking over each other, yelling at each other, and nothing gets done. And it's like you walk away with a headache. Neither Adrian nor myself will be served from another Roman Reigns discussion because there's
It doesn't
nothing
have
to
to
be
be
said.
just Roman. I mean, eventually we know it's going to turn into it, but
There's nothing to be said with it. No.
just a debate. Like I was watching, shout out to the Jobberteers podcast. I was going through this, and I actually got to listen to this episode. But one of the subjects was the Attitude Era overrated?
Yeah, that's a legit question.
Yeah. So I gotta listen to that one. If you didn't listen to that. As a matter of fact, I would actually like to do a dual episode with the Jobberteers podcast and debate that.
I'd like that. That I would like to get into.
I don't know if you can handle it because that's like two Adrians in one show, but they're a lot of fun. Shout outs to them. So yeah, on the comic front, I started a couple of new story arcs. The first one being Hunt for Wolverine #1. Which is written by Charles Soule and art by David Marquez and Paulo Sequeira. Okay, so it's basically it's basically about the X-Men have come to terms with Logan's death. I haven't really specified how he died.
Okay.
All right. So then cyborgs actually come in and try to steal the body from a grave that the X-Men actually built. Nice little grave too. It's like his body. And it's pretty much his naked body, and he has his claws out, and he's in a kneeling position, and the rest just looks like a block, where you think the body was at.
Yeah.
So they try to rob it because Wolverine's body and the adamantium is worth a pretty penny.
Yeah.
So once they saw that, the X-Men come. They start fighting off the cyborgs. The cyborgs actually get the grave open, and then they discover that the cyborgs weren't in there. I mean, not the cyborgs. The body wasn't there.
Yeah.
Because the X-Men had actually took Logan's body out and buried it in an undisclosed location. So after they fought him off. After that being said, Kitty Pryde actually goes to Wolverine's grave, just to tell him hey, we just did this. You would have been so proud of me. Have a little. People talk to that, to grave sites. I do sometimes. I'll admit it. But then she realizes that the body is gone.
Okay.
So Wolverine is actually alive out somewhere. So now Kitty Pryde and the X-Men are actually on the hunt for Wolverine, looking for him. And in one of the panels, she's actually reaching out to Tony Stark to help him find him.
Yeah.
So I mean, I just read the first issue with that. I think it's not a long story arc, but it's pretty. Actually, it has gotten good reviews, so I do recommend that you check that out as well. Great art. Very well written, especially for a first issue. The next one, I actually been looking forward to this for a while. The Weekend presents Starboy,
Okay.
#1.
I still got to pick that up, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was actually written by Abel Tesfaye, The Weeknd himself,
Hmm.
Lamar Taylor, and Christos Cage, and art by Eric I can never pronounce this. Nugent or Nguyen,
Hmm.
and Guru FX. So what it's about is like the city of Alphatron is in the midst of a crime wave by the hands of a criminal mastermind named Jack the Chef Smiley,
Hmm.
and then the citizens are in need of a hero, and that hero is Starboy.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not gonna go too deep into it because it's really not much. It's actually a well reviewed issue,
Okay.
but it's a very simple origin story.
Okay.
Okay, he gets his he gets his powers by being knocked into one of I actually forget like the type of machine that it was
Hmm.
that's supposed to like enhance power for the power to the city.
Hmm.
But then in the midst of fighting Jack Smiley, Jack Smiley knocks him in there, turns it up, and then somehow the Weekend survives.
Hmm.
He has another name in it, and I just didn't have it on me just to like write it down. So I have the most unprepared notes ever for these comics.
Does he call himself Starboy?
Yeah, so yeah, he calls himself Starboy.
Hmm.
He gets his powers, but then like that's it. We haven't really got a chance to really see what he's capable of. So I think I don't think it's gonna be a long story arc
Okay.
at all. But I mean, just to pick this #1 up, and if it does like take off, it's a good little $4.99 cash investment,
Okay.
I guess.
That's cool.
So then the next one, which has been very well reviewed, is actually Weapon H #1,
Mm.
and I just picked up #2 today. So and it follows a war. It's written by Greg Pak and the art by Corey Smith, and it actually follows a war veteran who was unwillingly took part into the Weapon X program experiment by mixing both Hulk and Wolverine DNA to form this Weapon H character. So it's like whenever he gets upset,
Hmm.
he turns into a Hulk-like creature and has adamantium claws
Hmm.
and other adamantium spikes around his body. Shout outs to Kevin Lima. What's going on, brother?
Hmm.
And now he's actually on the run to keep himself from society and actually mistake his mysterious past. And he actually ends up winding up to Wendigo. If you recall, Wendigo is actually the beast that Hulk and Wolverine fight off in the first appearance of Wolverine.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Yep.
so Wendigo makes a return. So that's actually another interesting story that I'm gonna follow.
Hmm.
Because I mean, Hulk and Wolverine DNA mixed together in one project. That's a pretty interesting concept.
Mm. Yeah.
So all that, and this weekend I dedicated myself, other than helping some friends move, to watching Luke Cage season 2.
Okay.
We're actually gonna get into a spoiler-filled episode within the next few weeks,
Hmm.
but it's definitely just as good as the first one.
That's good.
Lots of character development. You actually see Luke Cage actually dealing with this. It's like a newfound fame.
Hmm.
You know, now after the events of the first season and Defenders,
Yeah.
and he's actually dealing with some personal demons of his own, which dealing with his father, his relationship with his father, who was played by the late great Reggie Cathy.
Yep.
And there's actually one episode you actually get a good Kratos boy out of him.
Oh, nice.
You're just like it brings a smile to your face. If you're a God of War fan, that will bring a smile to your face.
All right.
And not to mention Reggie Cathy knocks it out the park.
Oh, I
Like he
bet.
was good in House of Cards, but I mean he knocks it out.
That's good. It's like a final performance. Way to go out.
Exactly. Yes.
Mm.
Yes. And you see more character development with Misty Knight, his relationship with Claire Temple, and then the Mariah Dillard,
Hmm.
Shades, like everybody has evolved in some way, shape, or form to where you actually whether you either love them or you hate them even more.
Mm-hmm.
And not to mention the antagonist, Bushmaster,
Yeah.
highly interesting character.
Okay.
Highly interesting. I'll put him on the level of Cottonmouth.
Oh, wow. Cottonmouth Stokes.
Yeah, and there's a lot of Cottonmouth references too. So, and then also some new characters get introduced as well. So, if you got the time, we're giving you guys 2 weeks.
Okay.
Catch up.
Yep. 2 weeks. I will catch up as well. I'll be done with it by then, and with Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Exactly. That's what we're doing. Not next week. Next week's 4th of July week, and we're taking some time off.
Yep.
But yeah, right after that, Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yes.
We're going spoiler deep into that one.
Okay.
All right. So then, I don't know if you caught this on the WWE Network. It's actually a WWE 24 documentary, The Hardys Woken.
Oh, I wanted to see that.
That's really, really good.
Yeah, I heard they get into like
They
real.
get into the nitty gritty. Like the Hardys are kind of they hit a downward spiral.
Yeah.
Like it was publicly known that Jeff did,
Yeah.
but even then Matt had it bad too.
Oh wow. I thought it was just Jeff. That's gonna do it.
No, definitely Matt too. How about the Tick on Amazon Prime? Haven't
I haven't seen it. I heard it was good.
Did you?
I heard it has its fans.
I don't have Amazon Prime.
Oh.
I need to because I'm ordering more and more off of Amazon lately.
Yeah. I heard it was a pretty good show.
I will leave that to you then.
Yeah, I'll check it out at some point.
But yeah, I do recommend like Woken
Okay.
of the Hardys.
Yeah. How long is that documentary?
About a good hour.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I heard. Does it show Jeff Hardy when he stumbled drunk out on a TNA match?
Yep.
Wow. I remember seeing that. Like I think it's still on YouTube.
Oh yeah, it is. But then
Yeah.
they advertised the Global Wrestling app
Mm-hmm.
in order to watch it.
Oh.
But yeah, it's there. Eric Bischoff talks about he's like, listen, Jeff looks horrible. Jeff, he's in no shape. Just hit him with the Scorpion Death Drop, pin him, and that's it. And even then, Sting was saying was like I was disappointed, but he was more like disappointed. He wasn't like completely furious.
Yeah.
But disappointed. And even in AJ Styles was like saying, it's like, these guys don't care. Like, I'm over here, busting my ass trying to, feed my family and everything. And you got these guys over here they're just here just to be here. They don't care at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, but it was a very, very interesting. I mean, they didn't have to just start from the beginning of their humble beginning and stuff. I mean, they mentioned it, but they got down to the nitty gritty of what, everything that they've been through within like the past, 10 years or so.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, they went through it.
Oh. Yeah. I'm gonna definitely put some time to watch that.
And I decided to revisit a favorite of mine from my childhood,
Oh, what's that?
Ghost Rider.
That was a popular show back in the day.
I was surprised because I thought I was the only one who watched it, and I wanted to be part of. As a kid, as like an 8-9-year-old kid, I wanted to be a part of this show because to me they just seemed like the coolest kids ever.
Yeah.
Just like them and the cast of All That, the original cast.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I found some episodes on YouTube. Tweeted Will Blackman because that used to be our show back in the day. I'm like, yo, look what I am watching. He was like, wow, I forgot about that show. Man, the acting was completely horrendous.
I can imagine.
Like, first of all, so I was like, as I'm watching this, I'm like, this is awful. So I'm like, what are these people doing right now? Because they all kind of like fell off the grid. I mean, some of them just living just dead regular lives.
Mm-hmm.
I think except for one's like still in like two of them still in the entertainment business. Like I know one does like voiceover work for commercials. The other one's in like a local band.
Oh wow.
But like nothing crazy. I just went on to and another one was on an episode of The Real World. Not an episode. He was actually a cast member of The Real World.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, like one of the line. First of all, Samuel L. Jackson was in the show.
He was on the show.
He was. He played Jamal's dad, like the character Jamal's father.
Wow. He's
So then
everything.
he's in there talking. So one of the characters named Jamal, he's talking to this, talking to this computer, like that his sister gave him before she goes to college, and she goes, "You looking for a dynamite dude?" And I'm like, I should be done right at this moment. Like, who the fuck says dynamite dude?
Oh, I'm thinking of like Johnny Ace or something. No, they were the dynamic dudes.
Yeah. Yeah, he just said you're looking for a dynamite. He thought he was cool about it too. I'm like, this is awful.
90s cheese.
Yeah, like
Oh man.
I mean the lingo, and remember these and the actors, they weren't actors at all. They were literally just a bunch of kids that PBS done pull from the street
Mm-hmm.
and just say, hey, be part of this show. And boom. And then I learned that they're actually like they did a casting call for a reboot.
Really?
Now you can that show, it just does not age.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't. It's about these kids who go around solving like mysteries, around their neighborhood,
Mm-hmm.
but they use a ghost that they can only communicate with through writing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, early 90s, yes, that could work.
Mm-hmm.
But now you got texting, social media,
Mm.
Google.
Yeah.
We have I have a ghostwriter right here.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't work.
Or maybe like if they did the concept, they have to do it like radically different.
It would have to be.
So
But
it's like they're communicating with the ghost through a computer.
but they communicate through each other. They use the ghosts to communicate with each other.
Mm.
They could just text each other.
Huh. Yeah. Yeah. Unless it's like some kind of like ghost in the machine type deal.
Well, he can communicate through like the computers and stuff.
Okay.
But it's like even then, still, it's like
Yeah.
any information that they used Ghostwriter to get,
Mhm.
you can just Google it.
Yeah. Yeah. The show just wouldn't age unless
It didn't. It can't.
like if they did a reboot and if they did it this way, it would really serve no purpose. If they like set the reboot firmly in the 90s still.
They would have to do that.
Yeah.
That's the only way that could work.
Yeah, and it would just have better production values and better acting, I suppose.
Yeah. But and even then they did a casting call, so they can once again get some kids who just happen to be have some good looking kids, but with no acting experience.
Yeah, or they just like pull some like YouTube celebrity
That's yeah.
or Instagram star. Put that in quotes.
And YouTube. Wait, YouTube's like I'll play a parent. Shit.
Yeah, you would.
No, because then that means like the kids will probably be teenagers, and then it'll just be a young parent now.
Yeah, it'd be like and Don't Be a Menace. Where Sean Wayne's dad.
Yeah.
Lorenz
Oh, he's
Tate.
older. He's older than his father. Like how?
Yeah.
New season of Marlins out too. It's actually pretty. It's still good.
Is it?
It is.
I'm a. I don't.
Yes,
I don't
you
know.
hate Marlon Wayans.
No.
You know this. You
I hate his movies, like A Haunted House is trash. Little Man, White Chicks, those are trash movies, man.
White Chicks is fun.
No, it's not.
I have fun watching White Chicks.
Yeah, you would have fun watching White Chicks.
Yeah, because I like to have fun.
That movie was trash, man.
Like it's not. It's one of those like it's just not meant to be like. What's that movie? I don't know why I always reference this. Call Me by Your Name. It's not supposed. It's one of those movies that are not supposed to be like on that level. It's just
That's not an
just go to the movies with your friends and like, let's just watch this. It's just a goofy ass movie.
Yeah, but that's not an excuse because you can have goofy movies that are done well. And
You
White
can
Chicks-
still, but even then, it's just like it's not meant to be taken that seriously. Like let me ask, 40-Year-Old Virgin is another movie like that.
Hey, 40-Year-Old Virgin's a legitimately funny, well-written comedy.
Oh, it definitely is. I'm not gonna knock it. I mean, I will definitely say 40-Year-Old Virgin is better than White Chicks.
Absolutely.
But it's like, would you? I mean, I put like White Chicks on the level as like Scary Movie 2.
Okay, I'll give you that. Yeah.
Still enjoyable, but it's just It's just an enjoyable, like, casual movie.
You probably liked Soul Plane too.
I did not actually.
Okay, good.
Like, I watched it, I laughed at a few moments, but I was like, this is not fucking good at all.
Yeah, if you like Soul Plane, I'd have to kick you off the show. You know, I have to revoke your black card.
No, you.
Yeah, man.
What else I got into? Okay, couple of albums. I'm actually going through this faster than I thought. Nas's album Nasir, adult contemporary hip hop. Now I know you're boycotting Kanye West.
Yeah.
Actually, like, two of the best songs on the album are featured him. Two of my favorites, at least. Cop Shot the Kid, which has like a whole it has a Slick Rick sample to it,
Okay.
but it has that old school hip hop feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
So and all that, and it kind of touches on, like, the killings of black kids
Yeah, at the
by
hands of the
police.
cops. Yeah.
At the hands of the cops. So
Mm-hmm.
everything is just like a nice zone out tune
Mm-hmm.
that features Kanye and the Dream.
Yep.
So, and that's actually my favorite out of the whole album.
Okay.
Yeah, and all 7 songs. By the way,
Yeah. So it's like a half hour long.
pretty much.
Mm.
Like, I completed that whole album like on a trip to Rite Aid and back.
Okay. Like, oh yeah. Go,
Oh, and then Adam and Eve, which is right after Everything, which is a dope record as well.
okay. Now, where would you rank Nasir among his most recent albums, like Life Is Good or?
Probably along with. I want. It's not gonna be. It's not Illmatic.
Yeah.
Definitely better. I'll probably say Streets Disciple.
Oh, okay, it's on that level.
Yeah,
All right. Yeah, Street's Disciple.
not my favorite, but I thought it was dope.
Okay.
I enjoy Streets Disciple. It has its fair share. Because actually, no, I would say it's better than Streets Disciple.
Okay. I mean, I like Street's Disciple, but it just didn't need to be a double CD. Yeah, there was a lot of filler.
No, but every like major artist has to have a double CD.
Yeah.
Jay-Z has a double CD. Outkast has a double CD.
Yeah, but what I noticed is that there's not a lot of artists that can pull off can justify a double
No.
CD. Like,
Especially nowadays. There's literally only 3 artists that can probably pull off a double CD.
who would they be?
J. Cole,
Mm-hmm.
Kendrick,
Yep.
and Wale.
Yeah. Well, okay. Yeah, I'll leave him on there. Yeah, his last album, I thought it was all right.
Yeah, I would say The Gifted's best. The Gifted I would say is his best.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny with Nasir.
You refuse to listen to it?
I refuse to listen to it because I do not have time in my life to support sunken place Negroes like Kanye West. Who they spit in the face of our culture. He's an embarrassment to the diaspora. Okay, he's an embarrassment to our people. Slavery is a choice. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, you fat depressed fuck.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
All right.
like Nasir, like Nas, like he could have worked with any other producer for 7 songs. He could have worked with No ID, like he did with Jay-Z with 444. He could have worked with Dr. Dre. Oh man, a Dr. Dre Nas album. Yeah. He could
There's
have
been some Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre Nas was the first like New York rapper to work with Dr. Dre.
Yep. Oh yeah, he was.
Yeah, Nas is coming from It Was Written.
Yep. I actually listened to It Was Written this morning.
Love that album.
That album is fire. Like right now, because like I'm going back and I'm listening to Nas's albums one at a time, just to see which one's my absolute favorite. Because I was inspired by Adrian's post when he posted Stillmatic being the best Nas album in his opinion. So
It's a good one.
it's a good choice, but so far I listened to I re-listened to Illmatic again. I re-listened to It Was Written. So right now I'm on I Am.
Love that album.
I Am is fire.
Love that album.
Yeah. I also listened to Nostradamus, which was
His worst.
yeah, at his absolute worst. That album has what, 3 good songs at best. One of them being Nostradamus, which sampled a EPMD song. Um,
And
You Owe
owe
Me.
me. Yeah, those are the only two memorable songs out of that.
Yeah, that whole album was just ill-conceived.
Took a hiatus, and then he came out. Well, Jay-Z called him out, and then he came out with Stillmatic.
Yep, it was one of the rare 5 mic albums in the Source, that and Blueprint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So speaking of Blueprint, the Carters.
Yes.
That's another album that is adult contemporary hip hop.
Is that Everything Is Love? Is that what the album's called?
Yes, the Carters. Everything Is Love. Couple of my favorites on there is Ape Shit, nice little party record that I actually plan on playing this weekend when I DJ. Friends and 713. Friends actually addresses why Jay-Z and Beyonce didn't go to Kanye's wedding.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That should be
Basically, he just said, "Listen, if me and my wife are beefing, I ain't going nowhere until I fix it."
okay.
Which is justifiable.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, okay, you cheat on your wife, then you guys are in the midst of fighting, you guys go to a wedding.
Yeah.
That's a recipe for disaster. That's a recipe for disaster.
Oh, yeah.
She's sitting there, she start crying. You thinking she's crying because it's a beautiful moment, or the pastor probably is just fire. But like, no.
Wow. Young. Is it available on CD?
Not yet. I listened to the Untitled.
Yeah. I got Spotify, so unfortunately I haven't listened to it yet.
Tidal is worth it because it's like you get music that's not on Spotify, but Tidal will have it.
Okay.
You know, like, and especially like sometimes I just feel like listening to a Jay-Z album. The only way you can listen to a Jay-Z album is on Tidal.
Yeah. Or you can do what I do and just like just like transfer the MP3s from your computer to your phone, Android phone, like I did.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm gonna definitely listen to the Carters at some point because I really want to. You know, I absolutely loved 444 last year, and I mean,
that was last year.
Yeah, and a Beyonce Jay-Z record. I'm surprised it took them this long to make a whole album together.
I guess it's just the demand, and then not to mention they're about to go on tour. They're about to go on tour. No, I think they are on tour now.
Oh yeah, On the Run too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always find it funny that like Beyonce always announces her tours right at tax time.
Yeah.
Always does. You know, like once they get them income tax, I'm like, hey, I'm going on tour. That's exactly the government pays for Beyonce's.
It's a conspiracy. Illuminati.
But you know
confirmed.
what? No, that's a smart move. That's a smart move. She knows her fans.
She does. I mean,
she knows her fan base, and they support. And they, like I said, they worship her.
Yes, the cult of Beyonce. But, you know, like I've said before, like Beyonce is a very talented artist.
Here we go.
But I still, to this day, all these years, I still don't get the hype. Like, to me, she's not a end-all, be-all cultural icon. She's not a revolutionary. She's just a very talented R&B singer who happens to be ridiculously wealthy, who's earned her wealth. I give her that. But if you ask me, do I prefer to listen to Beyonce's music or Solange's music? I'd go for Solange's music, because Solange, she's more of the artsy.
No, now she is. Before she was just as commercial as everybody else.
I agree. Like when Solange first came out, it was like, aw, she's trying to be a clone just like her big sister. But then like she quickly proved to be a legitimate artist. Like she wasn't just a flash in the pan clone. Like Solange has a legitimate artistic voice, and like she has her own experimental style. She takes chances with her own brand of R&B. I can dig that. Whereas Beyonce, it's like
she's too big, and she just like she already has. But then again, it's to the point where Beyonce is like she's big enough to where she can do whatever she wants.
Yeah,
like Beyonce, she like this album. There was no promotion behind it.
No,
just
like Beyonce.
Hey, we got an album here.
Yeah, Beyonce can literally fart on a record, and people would buy that in droves and give it glowing reviews. She can fart on a beat, and people will praise that record to high heaven like it's the greatest record in human history.
It really will real too.
Yeah, she can sneeze on the track.
No, you're taking my joke.
What?
You're taking my joke. You're taking my joke. Don't flip my joke around.
Wait, you said that she'd fart on a record?
No, I said that. Remember, I told you about the time when she sneezed on stage and the entire arena said "bless you." So I said, imagine if Beyonce farted.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. If she
Jerk.
I'm just saying, if she sneezed all over a Dr. Dre beat, people would like give that record of the year at the Grammys. I'm just saying, man. I mean, it's just overrated, basically. Just too much hype.
I mean, there are people who still find her overrated. Well, that was my pen. Okay.
Yeah. Speaking of, before we move on with some comments, Kevin Lima dropped this fact. He says that Lars Sullivan wrestled over half his match with Aleister Black at TakeOver Chicago with a broken jaw.
He's a tough son of a bitch right there.
Yeah, he is. That's a hardy dude. Yeah. To wrestle with a broken freaking jaw.
Yeah.
Maybe that could be his catchphrase.
It will be over. It was already overdone by Kurt Angle.
Oh yeah. Should we get into some news items? Speaking of wrestling, we do begin with some really sad news. Unfortunately, the passing of Big Van Vader, better known also in real name Leon White.
Woo, that's old school. You said Big Van Vader.
Oh yeah, he is. He's always gonna be Big Van Vader to me.
Go ahead.
He passed away Monday at the age of 63 from congestive heart failure, and what was most unfortunate about his death was that he did last year. He said that doctors had told him he had less than 2 years to live.
Yeah,
and he actually wanted to be in the Hall of Fame, and unfortunately, he only did an induction. So if he ever gets into the WWE Hall of Fame, it will be
he's going in now.
It'll be another posthumous induction, which shame on you, Vince. Vader, he was widely regarded as one of the greatest super heavyweight wrestlers of all time. He's a 3-time WCW World Heavyweight Champion and a 3-time IWGP Heavyweight Champion.
Let me tell you,
one of the toughest SOBs in the business.
Yeah, stiff motherfucker.
Yup.
But I will tell you this, man, back when I was a kid, when Harley Race used to manage him, and he had that big-ass Mastodon helmet, that shit legitimately scared the shit out of me. I was creeped out by that mask.
Wow.
And he was feuding with Sting, too. And Sting was my favorite WCW wrestler. Mm-hmm. And once he got out, once in WWE, his run wasn't that great.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, his WWE run was very disappointing. Much of it due to Shawn Michaels, I'd say. Well, Shawn Michaels played a big factor in it.
Possibly, I believe it.
Yeah,
but it was true. And then I had to I had to post the episode. One of the episodes we was on Boy Meets World.
Oh yeah, yep. He was in a few episodes. I remember that.
As one of the bully's fathers. I forget his name, but
yeah, I forget which character.
I know the actor's name was Ethan Serpley, but
yeah, Vader played his dad on the show.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah,
but yeah, Vader, you will be missed.
Absolutely, man. And he had one of my favorite entrance themes in WWE.
Really?
Yeah, back in the New Generation era. It's Tom. It's Tom. It's Vader. Tom. Dun dun. Yo, what the shit? Yo, that was fire.
I wouldn't know.
Yo, that was.
I didn't. Oh man,
it fit him, but
yo, it definitely fit him. Don't get me wrong, but Frankie. That was the character's name.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
But no, I wouldn't consider his theme like one of my favorites.
I just liked it because it was just so. It fit.
Yeah, it fit him. Don't get me. I mean, I'm not denying that. I just wouldn't call it my favorite.
Okay, but I really enjoyed his because it gave him an extra presence that the booking at the time in WWE didn't give him, and he should have been a WWE champion. Like if it wasn't for Shawn Michaels politicking and all that, then perhaps his run would have been different. But but you take away the WWE run, he still had a remarkable career. I think he was responsible for I guess tearing off Mick Foley's
ear. Yeah,
in
Japan.
Yep. There was one point where Vader, he had his eye knocked out at one point out of his socket, and he popped it right back in. Yeah, it was during a match in Japan, I believe. Yeah, he was a tough dude, and there was one point where him and Undertaker had like a interview, this infamous interview in Kuwait.
I saw that. Yeah.
Oh
Yo, and
man,
he flipped out.
he flipped out on the
Hilarious.
he flipped out on the host who asked him, "Yo, so is wrestling fake?" And Undertaker, he gave a diplomatic answer, but then Vader was like, "No, no, no, let me answer this question." And then he just went off on the host, and he was actually detained in Kuwait for like a couple days or a couple weeks. Damn, which didn't do him any favors with Vince McMahon. So I think that was definitely another reason why he didn't get a big push. But man, Big Van Vader, Leon White, you will be missed, man.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Shout outs to John Haponic for this one. Go ahead, read it.
John Haponic, the supervillain, the DCEU apologist, will be pleased to know that Jared Leto will be starring in the Spider-Man spin-off film Morbius. Jared Leto will be playing the scientist turned vampire, and it will be directed by Daniel Espinosa, who directed the Denzel Washington film Safe House and the sci-fi film Life, starring Jake Gyllenhaal. Leto, in addition to Morbius, he will also reprise his role as the Joker in an upcoming standalone movie, which will be different from the Joker origin movie starring Joaquin Phoenix.
Another one comes to Marvel. Dudes. Dudes.
Boom, boom, boom. Man, so Jared Leto, I will say I hope that his turn as Morbius will be much better than his Joker run because
I could see him actually playing Morbius.
Yeah,
like look wise.
Yeah, he can definitely pull off a vampire.
Acting wise,
I mean, Jared Leto, he's a good actor, but the Joker, the Suicide Squad Joker was just yeah, it was just like gangsta juggalo version, I guess. And
it was just awful.
Yeah, it was like Tekashi 6ix9ine version of Joker. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was not a good look. So the choices that Leto made in his role as the Joker was not good. So I hope that Leto makes better choices in his role as Morbius and with this Spider-Man spin-off film, which I believe is part of Sony's Spider-Man universe, which is not part of the official MCU.
MCU, yeah.
So it's going to share the same space with Venom coming out in October. But hey, you know what? If Morbius can be as good as Venom, and hopefully if Venom gains momentum as well, then maybe their Sony's Spider-Man spin-off universe might be worth watching.
They announced that Silk's getting a movie as well.
Yep, that's right. Yeah. And
what you got? What you got there?
Oh, some other interesting news here for all of us Facebook users. Facebook will be introducing a new keyword snooze feature. Now, this sounds interesting.
Yeah, read about that.
So the keyword snooze feature on Facebook will allow users to block any news stories and posts on their feed that feature certain keywords in their titles. So the idea is to enable users to block stories that they don't want to see. So for example, someone who wants to avoid movie spoilers for Ant-Man and the Wasp, they can type in the title Ant-Man and the Wasp in keyword snooze. And that user's Facebook feed will block out any and all stories with those words in the titles. The feature is currently being rolled out in test markets as of yesterday and will be available to all Facebook users if successful. What do you think about this keyword snooze feature?
Honestly, I probably will never use it. Like, I'll know it's there and probably will never use it. And like, I don't know, maybe just in my circle, my circle and, my friends list, they don't spoil shit.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of friends.
Yeah, you do. A lot of Facebook friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. You talk to like a dozen in real life, though?
And I actually talk to a really good amount of them.
Okay. Yeah. That's cool.
So, like, and they really don't spoil. I'm actually thankful for that. Very grateful.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Like, I would probably use it for, like, just type in spoilers in the feature and then just, like, filter out any stories with the word spoiler in it. That way I can be totally safe from them.
That would work, too.
Yeah. But I could also see how Facebook snooze could be abused in the sense that people will just filter out any stories that don't agree with their own worldview,
Oh yeah, definitely.
and it's just going to be more of a echo chamber, tunnel vision, and all that.
Yep.
Especially with political stories.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Like I
I
said, like I'll look, I'll like look at certain headlines. If it's something I'm like, if I want to look into it, then yeah. If I don't, just keep scrolling.
yeah. And that being said, maybe it'll be useful to, like, to avoid people's posts on like their of like their kids doing something extraordinary in their eyes. Like, oh, look at my son. He like, I don't
Went down
know.
a slide.
My son did his first slip and slide. Oh, isn't this cool? Like 50,000 likes and whatnot. No one cares. All right, listen.
Oh damn. Oh damn.
All you parents out there on Facebook, listen. Being a parent is a wonderful thing, and I understand that you want to share your joy, posting about all the extraordinary things that your kids are doing. But here's the thing. It's really subjective. And after a while, it gets really obnoxious when you keep posting pictures of your kids and your infants and seeing, oh, look, my daughter, my son had his first burpee. Oh my God, isn't this amazing? It's so cute. 700 likes. Ugh, just stop. And also,
Oh damn.
all you pet owners out there, no one really cares about your damn cats or about your dogs. Nobody is as enamored with Fido or little Chloe or little Zeke as much as you are. Nobody really cares about your dog.
There's the community of people who do.
Yeah, but they all treat their dogs way better than humans, and that's what really offends me about dog owners in particular. Like y'all have the nerve to treat do you know the reason you pet owners treat pets with such reverence and such love more than humans? I'll tell you why.
No.
I'll tell you why.
Calm down,
Because it's really difficult to deal with other people. You know why? Because it's difficult to deal with another person who has their own thoughts, who has their own point of view, a person who can actually talk back, a person who can actually respond to you, a person who can actually engage your points, a person who actually isn't dependent on you feeding them water and kibble in a bowl. Yeah, it's easy for a creature to love you as long as you feed them every day and take them out on walks and don't abuse them. Yeah. Yeah. So when your dog and your cat is all excited to see you when you come home from work, is it because they love you, or is it because they know that when they see you, they think, oh, food, water, and the chance to go poop outside? Come on, y'all.
You never had a pet growing up, huh?
I had goldfish.
Did you love those goldfish?
I thought they were okay. I mean, I fed them regularly. I was like, oh, this is really cool. I have fish. But then I went back to playing Nintendo.
You wasn't really loved as a child, was you?
Oh, I was. Come on.
You didn't get enough hugs, huh? You need a hug?
I don't need a hug. All right.
You sure?
I don't need a hug. I'm just saying that, like, some pet owners can be really obnoxious with their love of pets.
And
okay?
you know what? And you know what? Here's a solution to that.
What's that?
Keep scrolling.
That's what I do anyway.
Well, then there you go.
I'm just saying.
There you go.
I'm just saying. Have some perspective. I'm just saying, if you're one of those pet owners who treats pets better than you treat humans, then there's something wrong with you. You're just an antisocial fuck, and you need to get over yourself.
Michael Jackson treated animals like humans.
No. I'm saying if you treat animals better than humans.
Well, some people just see the purity in it. That's the purity in animals, Like you just get just like a pure love from them, like.
Yeah, but it's easy because animals don't talk back, and they're totally their survival is totally dependent on you caring for them.
Not necessarily. I mean,
and
you put an animal in the wild, they can survive.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, from a certain point of view, my brother, see, pet owning is just 21st century slavery, my brother. You see, you gotta think.
I thought you was gonna get into freaking Oswald Bates.
You see, my brother. See, the pet owning is bisexual in your mentality. You know what I'm saying? So you got to unsheath the crux of the Jerry Curls activation. You understand? I don't know.
I have no idea what you're saying, but that shit was classic though.
Oh, those
Oswald Bates was fucking hilarious. So.
Oh my gosh! Like
I bet you know what? I want to see one of those videos where they like kids today watching Living Color. Now they can't.
You know what?
Certain skits that they could probably get away with.
Yeah, like the Oswald Bates you probably could get away with because that kind of makes fun of like the so-called hoteps and whatnot.
Yeah.
But like
not Joe Jackson, rest in peace.
Nah.
There's something about you, little. Yeah, I actually a friend of mine posted the article, and I just said, you know what? I posted that video.
Oh yeah. Oh, from In Living Color.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I saw a meme that you posted. Like,
I was so surprised at how popular that has gotten.
Yeah, like Michael Jackson, he's all happy. It's like when you're, it's like
where is it? Because I had to show somebody this the other day.
It's like when you're jamming for 9 years in heaven, and then
you're having the time when you're having the time of your life in heaven, and then your daddy shows up and he's all sad.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, when you've been having a blast in heaven for the past 9 years, but then your daddy walk in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, rest in peace, Joe Jackson. I mean, say what you want about his parenting. I was pretty much raised the same way.
Really? Your dad beat you?
Both my parents beat me.
What? Because you didn't hit a high note?
No, just because I fucked up.
Well, I mean, obviously.
But you know what? Say what you want, all right? Are any of the Jackson kids like in jail and stuff?
They might not be in jail, but they all have their own set of issues.
I mean, certain issues that a normal human being will go through, but like, do you hear much scandal out of them?
Nowadays, no.
Exactly. Were they ever like really in jail and stuff? Were they ever like? Did they ever really have drug problems?
Well, Michael had drug problems.
Well, Michael, yeah, but you know, Michael had the world Michael had the world by the balls.
Yeah, the world was in his hands.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, until he ran into Dr. Legend Killer.
Yeah, but in a way, it was like to his, because he was like, "Yo, I want the propofol." Like, yeah, like Michael Jackson's last words were "more milk," because that was the nickname for the propofol.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, damn, what a sad ending.
It definitely was, but it's like, and that was another thing. I heard this on another podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Name another celebrity that when they die, the world will stop.
Another celebrity I would say Beyonce. Well,
no.
Maybe among like. Yeah.
I mean, Twitter people would they'll make their posts and everything, but it's like in a way things will just kind of keep moving.
Damn, I really can't think of any.
That's the last one.
Yeah, because
Prince died.
Yeah,
and it's like people were sad about it, but they still kept moving.
Yeah, and in the worst year of celebrity deaths ever, 2016.
Yeah. We had we got exhausted by that invite.
Yeah.
But even it's still like there's no other celebrity where that would happen. Like when Michael died, the world stopped.
Yeah.
I remember that I remember it like it was yesterday.
I do too.
So it was like, yeah, but the world stopped. Like people were calling me because I used to dance and all that. I was very heavily influenced by Michael Jackson, and it was people were just calling me like, "Yo, this is really happening." Yep. And I'm like, "Yo, it's just a rumor and all that." And then my boy Joe, shout out to him, he calls me up. He was like, "Did you hear the news? He made Thriller."
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man. And can you believe next year will be the 10th
anniversary?
Yeah.
So those specials will be popping.
Yeah, man. Damn.
Yeah. And shout out to Whitney Palavra. Excuse me. She's been showing mad love to the show.
Oh yeah, she's one of my former students.
Is that who that is?
Yeah.
Because I've been seeing her a lot lately. She's been showing mad love. Shout outs to her.
Yeah. Thank you, Whitney. College writing. Yeah, son. Represent.
All right. What's
But
next on?
a couple more headlines here. Some plans for future Star Wars spin-off films put on hold by Lucasfilm, or are they?
I heard that. I saw that. I came across the headline. I had a good laugh.
Yeah. Well, Collider initially reported last week that Lucasfilm will be focusing on the upcoming Episode 9 feature, as well as what the next trilogy of films would be afterwards. This is likely a response to the so-called underwhelming, air quotes, box office take of Solo, a Star Wars story, which grossed over $203 million domestically, which I believe is the lowest domestic take for a Star Wars film. However, the Hollywood Reporter followed up with an update of the story, stating that while Lucasfilm is not slowing down future spin off films, they're trying to figure out how to make and market them differently, according to an insider. Currently, there are 2 new Star Wars film trilogies that are still in the works, with one being developed by Rian Johnson and the other being made by Game of Thrones showrunners David Benioff and D.B. Weiss. In addition, Jon Favreau is executive producing the live-action Star Wars TV series for Disney's new streaming service, which will roll out in 2019. So, yeah,
Listen, Rogue One was good.
it was
Rogue
enjoyable.
One was good, and I think Rogue One actually did pretty well.
It did very well, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like where they messed up with so I'm like, so it was just one movie. Now, if it is a continuous cycle, then you can start looking into something. But it's like it was just one movie. They messed up because they marketed wrong and they put it out at the wrong time. Just think that okay, at that time, what were the other like movies that were out that were killing it?
For Rogue One?
No, not Rogue One.
Solo?
Solo.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Infinity War.
Right.
Deadpool 2.
Right. Their competition was in Rome, pretty much.
Yeah.
Now, if they was to have released Solo in December, like they did the previous films,
Yeah.
it would have been okay. And actually just promote it more.
Yeah. It probably would have done a bit better in the box office.
Yeah.
Although, like, there was some criticisms about it, like, being...
It was,
Like, it just
yes,
wasn't
it was a movie that we really didn't need.
Yeah.
But I still heard good things about it. You know that we need a Knights of the Old Republic movie.
Yo, that would be a dope idea. Knights of the Old Republic. Like, if they... I don't know if they could take certain characters and kind of remix it to adapt it to film. That would be an interesting feature. Because that would take place, like, thousands of years before the Star Wars universe. That would be pretty cool.
That's basically what they needed to do.
Mm-hmm.
And if they probably would have tweaked the movie. Well, some people still liked it.
Yeah.
So it's like, shout out to Justin Case. He told me that he just saw it and he liked it.
Yeah.
So it's like they messed up on their end. They just promoted it wrong and put it on the wrong time.
Yeah. Yeah, it was, like, too overstuffed.
Exactly. We just got Infinity Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Then we had Deadpool 2, 2 weeks later?
Yep.
And then 2 weeks later we had that?
Yep.
That was a lot.
Yeah.
That was a lot within that short period of time. They should have waited till December, got that holiday money, like the previous movies. Everything would have been cool.
Yeah, I think so.
Just promoted it better.
Mm-hmm.
Get a couple of sponsors and endorsements.
Yep.
You'd be all right.
Yeah. And I would say that if they waited for a December release, they could have had more time to work on it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Instead of, like, rushing, Ron Howard to, like, complete the rest of the film after they fired Lord and Miller.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yep.
Solution.
Yeah. And that was free Hollywood.
It's Disney.
Yeah.
But you know what I know.
Yeah. Also, so last headline here, which I think is pretty interesting. Shots fired from AMC towards MoviePass. AMC is launching its own subscription model to challenge MoviePass, and it's called AMC Stubs A-List, which allows members to see up to 3 movies a week for $19.95 a month. And AMC, the service, will offer member benefits such as free upgrades on popcorn and soda, express service at the box office and concession stand, and no online ticketing fees. Members can also see multiple movies in one day, so long as they allow a 2-hour break between showtimes. And Members can also watch IMAX, Dolby Cinema, and real 3D releases, unlike with MoviePass. AMC has had a contentious relationship with MoviePass and even looked into legal action to block MoviePass from being used in AMC theaters. Competition, man.
Yeah. Would you get both?
I wouldn't get AMC because there's no AMC theaters in Rhode Island. Like the closest one is in Boston, downtown Boston, and to have to take the train
I
from
worked at an
there.
AMC theater.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. In
Was it?
Baltimore.
Oh, what was it? How was that?
I hate working in theaters.
Oh,
I know what these people go through.
just dumb customers.
Customers. Oh man, working at. First of all, we never at that time the busiest movie that we had, I probably would say was was Drumline, like Drumline Friday After Next.
Yeah.
So this is around 2002, 2003. But it's cleaning up after cleaning the theaters after people, selling concession stands. So you got people who would come in just high. They just finished smoking, so the weed hits you. It hits you right in front of your face, and then they want to order the most food, the food that you don't even feel like cooking. that that you gotta make, and it's just
Yeah. And
I'm way too lazy to work in a theater. That's what it is. As much as I love to work and hustle and stuff, I'm way too lazy for that.
yeah.
Cleaning the bathrooms,
Mm,
cleaning the lobby.
yeah. Cleaning the auditoriums.
Those are bad.
Yeah. And you know, with that, I will say, to people out there, show a little more respect to the theater workers, all right? Don't leave your trash all underneath the seats, all right?
It's a dick move.
It is a dick
Deadpool.
move. Yeah. Be responsible. Clean up after yourself, all right? Make their job a little easier.
That's why I do it, because I know what it feels like. And then the one advantage was they were free movies.
Yeah. No, that's a good thing.
But then when you're on your break, you're like, okay, what do I do? You watch the same movie over and over again for a half hour or whatever.
Yeah. I can imagine it gets old real quick.
Yeah, it did. Drumline got very old.
Yeah. But
But on the plus side, I didn't pay to see Ben Affleck's Daredevil.
smart. That's a good thing. I did. Yeah. But we all make mistakes. But you know what? I'm intrigued about this competition with a Movie Pass, because as much as I like Movie Pass, I do want to see actual competition, because iron sharpens iron. You know.
Exactly.
Because if you don't have competition, you'll end up with with somebody who gets pushed down fans' throats that nobody wants to see every week, right,
Jesus
Adrian?
Christ.
Anyway, but yeah, I do like this idea, with not only with AMC's streaming service, not streaming service, but movie pass style service, but also maybe Showcase Cinema can create their own similar movie pass service, which would be dope, because there's Showcase Cinemas all over Rhode Island.
Yeah.
And hopefully this will get Movie Pass to step their game up. I know that Movie Pass they're thinking of introducing some new plans where you can there could be a couples plan.
Yeah. The more you spend, the more the more you upgrade your plan, the more you get.
Yeah, like
Pay a little extra, you can get you can do it for two people.
Yeah.
Or it's kind of a women would look at that as a cheap date, but
It's smart. I mean, it's a tough.
it's smart and money saving, but it's I'm not even gonna get into it. But some women will probably look at it as they'll look at you the fuck you you using a coupon on a date.
That's so dumb. You know what? That says more about them than it says about you. Yeah.
Kyle was on the wrestling episode, Tyrone.
Yeah. I mean, if you're dating somebody and if they're criticizing you because you're using a coupon or getting a discount, then yeah, scratch that person off your list. They don't deserve to be in your life. But yeah, I like this. I like the idea of competition. And with MoviePass, they're thinking about introducing premium plans, like adding another person on your plan. Also, you can pay a little extra for premier movies, like movies by Disney or even IMAX. You pay a little extra on top of the charge.
No, if they do that,
That'd be cool.
then or like the couples thing,
Yeah.
then I would definitely do it.
Yeah.
Cousin Mookie, what up?
But yeah, like I like to see more competition in that fold. So I think AMC, I think they're doing the right thing with introducing their own subscription model. So hopefully like other theater chains and MoviePass will step their game up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much all I got for news and headlines. So,
Yeah, it's a light week. Yeah, it's a light week this week. So yeah, let's just remember next week we're taking a week off.
Yep.
4th of July week, so why the hell not?
Yeah.
And then following that, we're talking Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully we have some guests on the show for that one.
Yeah, maybe Jim.
Yeah, possibly Jim and his son Trevor, and maybe some other people I may have in mind too.
Yeah.
And then
Luke Cage
right after that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So yeah, but we'll be on Thursdays.
Yep. Thursdays until the end of July.
Yeah. So let's get into question of the week.
Yes.
So last week's question of the week was, if you could change anything from WWE's history, what would you change? Being that we was on a wrestling episode. Mm-hmm. So AJ presents the Greater Good. Big shout outs to them. We're gonna be collaborating with them soon. He says, never basing an entire AJ Nakamura feud around nut shots.
I agree, man.
Yeah. Jim survived. Speaking of the which, shout outs to him. He just had a birthday the other day. And shout outs to Reagan. He just had a birthday yesterday, too.
Awesome.
All right. He says, that's easy. No celebrities allowed. We don't need Stephen Amell or Mr. T, Liberace, as well as any other celebrity. No feuds needed. Also, once you're gone from the WWE, you stay gone. Like, we don't need The Rock popping up every 10 months if you're not under contract. And if you're not under contract, serious contract, you don't need to be there. Returns are good. Yeah. Returns, there's been some good ones and some bad ones.
Yeah, Undertaker being one of the bad.
Oh, on a side note, they missed a great feud between Carl and Victor. That would have been fun to watch. We already been through this. I would win, regardless if you have Kenny Omega.
What?
Remember the tag team, the proposed tag team match, you and Kenny Omega against me and AJ Styles?
Yeah.
I got the advantage.
Nah.
I already have in-ring experience.
Nah, Omega can carry anybody, so he'll carry me to
so
victory.
So can AJ.
Yeah.
Paul says, hashtag get Roman off my TV.
Facts. Yes. Facts.
Okay, random ramblings with Rob. Shout outs to him. He said, I heard this on your show and I felt like shit since Owen Hart wasn't my first thought. And then former host at M.A. Cerullo.
Yep,
Maurice says, Alberto Del Rio's cash in at SummerSlam 2011 was that totally derailed the summer of Punk.
I agree, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So, on the Facebook, Josh McNeil, shout out to him, said John Cena existing.
Oh, come on now.
Jonathan Sheehan replied to him saying, how about Owen Hart not falling to his death or preventing Benoit from murdering his family? I change all that. Mm-hmm. Eddie Guerrero test. And then Josh replies, Eddie Guerrero test. China. WWE has had more than few preventable tragedies. Mm-hmm. Eddie Guerrero was actually the only one on that list.
Yeah.
Test and China were both gone from the WWE. So then technically WWE isn't necessarily reliable.
Or responsible.
Responsible, yes.
Yeah.
And then Cousin Moogie says, I'm going to say the Royal Rumble the last two got to win by pinfall.
The Royal Rumble?
Yeah. The last two, it has to be, they have to win by pinfall.
Oh. Was that ever a rule back in the Royal Rumble? No.
It was always over the top rope.
Yeah.
Nick Catrini says, Undertaker ending his career with the streak unbroken. I would definitely change that.
Yeah.
Piper getting a world championship belt.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely a heel champion. Cena and his 13 belt wins, I probably would have cut him off at 4. And Paige and her injury caused that awful, because that was awful. 25 and she's done for something scripted. It's way more dangerous than it's. Wait, it's way more dangerous than any sport. And Edge and Sting all taken out from just one match. And Eric Silva says the Attitude Era ending. That should still be going on today. This PG stuff is trash. They can't have in this freaking politically correct world we live in. They cannot have the Attitude Era.
No, we can't. We've moved beyond.
We can't do that.
No, we need legitimate wrestling matches.
Yeah. So, this week's question of the week: which former guest would you like to see return to the Codex Prime podcast?
Wow. Former guest. It's tough. There's so many of them that have returned to the show at some point. Like we had Jim. Jim's always great. Yeah. Adrian, Kyle, Brian, Eddie. They were great for the wrestling shows.
Yeah. I would have to say Paul DiFilippo was really good.
Yeah,
that was a that was an intriguing episode.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, a returning guest.
Bad Lad was dope.
Yeah. I'd love to have Justin Case back on the show.
That was a good one too. You know what? Yeah. Who was your favorite? Rerun that. Who was your favorite guest?
Okay.
On the Codex Prime podcast.
Okay, so that's the question of the week.
Yeah.
Favorite guest on the show. Well, being that we're the hosts, we like all our guests.
Right.
And we shouldn't play favorites.
We can't.
So we can't play favorites, so we like them all equally. And the reason why I say Justin Case was because when he was on, we had sound issues.
Right. Yeah, so we gotta do a do-over.
Yeah.
Oh man. Michael Gianfrancesco.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good one. That was actually a learning experience. That's why we got this equipment.
Oh yeah. Like I said, I don't.
Razor was good too.
Yeah, Razor Clifton. Yep.
Damn, we may have to call some of these back.
Yeah, absolutely.
We got a couple a couple of them that I'm in the midst of working out.
Maybe if we have another wrestling episode, maybe we can get Dennis from Wrestling Fantasy Warfare
on. Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't think that. Oh, man. I don't know if we can handle that. I don't know if our female viewers can handle that.
Yeah, on second thought, maybe that's not such a good idea.
Oh, man. But, yeah, that's it. That'll be on our social medias within a day or so. Mm-hmm. Everybody have a great and safe 4th of July. Tell them about the classic jackass moments. Okay. I'll definitely get into that one.
Classic jackass moments?
Okay, see, back then, Anthony,
mm-hmm.
That's Cousin Mookie right there.
Right.
We just decided we were stuck in a snowstorm,
mm-hmm.
and he actually lived on the second floor, and there was a balcony, and the snow was pretty high.
Yeah. So
his mother's boyfriend at the time was like, "Yeah, I'll give you guys like $10 each. Mm-hmm. No, $20 each if y'all just jump off the balcony."
Mm-hmm.
Mookie, without thinking, he just hopped over,
mm-hmm.
landed right in the snow, ended up spraining his ankle.
Oh.
I just jumped, took my shirt off, and did 3 backflips in the snow. Horrible looking backflips, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And we had to run all the way around the building back into the front. We was freezing.
Mm-hmm.
And just laughed.
Wow. Did you all get sick?
No. No, but he sprained his ankle.
Wow, and that was just all for $20, eh?
Just for $20.
Man.
Oh, man. 18-year-old Carl was something else.
I bet, man.
Oh, man. But, yeah, you can find us on Twitter, Facebook, iTunes. Leave us a 5-star review. SoundCloud,
Google Play.
Google Play, you damn Android users.
Yeah, Android represent. You must
Green
heard.
bubble son of a bitch.
Android gang, let's go.
Yeah, I had to. No, he just remembered. I had to carry him. I had to carry him into the
Man,
good times.
y'all were that bored, huh?
Oh man, you should see it. Look, another thing, we actually had an Iron Man match playing WrestleMania 18 for GameCube.
Mm-hmm.
I was Undertaker. He was Triple H.
Yeah.
And we actually did an Iron Man match. Nonstop. We played a full 60 minutes.
Damn. Wow, that sounds tedious.
Oh, it was fun. It was fun. I won, by the way.
Okay. That's good. That's good.
But there was a lot of close calls in that bitch. My first taste of carpet tunnel was from that game.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, that's it. That's all I got.
All right, man. So yeah, tune in 2 weeks' time. So we're taking the 4th of July week off. So next week we won't be here, but we'll be back the week after. We will post some notices when we return. So have an awesome 4th of July week. Enjoy the rest of your week and weekend.
Yep. And make sure, like when you tune in, make sure you watch Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yep.
And season 2 of Luke Cage, because we're spoiling the shit out of those.
Yes, when we return. Yes, indeed. So as always, we will catch you on the flip. Peace out, nerds.
Later.